My sleeping pattern really got destroyed.
I'm looking for work as well and I could not find anything.
I've got family back home in Latvia. I found it quite difficult to not come to terms with the fact that I'm not going to see them this summer.
I feel like the government have just chucked young people out the way a little bit.
We've been forgotten and now we're slowly coming back.
Normally everyone in my family works and we're all going out, and then I'm usually always out and about. So now we stay the entire day together from morning till evening. It's good and bad, I guess.
I'm a videographer, I'm a freelance videographer. I mainly film events or, shows, music shows, things like that. So yeah, basically I've had zero work since coronavirus hit. I wasn't applicable for a lot of the government schemes. Loads of people fell through the gaps, including myself. But I did get a grant from the Arts Council to support. But on the other side, it was really nice not to have the pressure of I've got to be earning money right now sort of thing, because I couldn't have been,
It caused a lot of struggles for me personally. I was a uni student in my first year. And then out of nowhere, just the third semester, the whole coronavirus came out of nowhere. But there was no more lectures. There was no more basketball, especially. Everything was online now. So I had to get used to doing a whole new system.
I'm in year 12. We've had to teach ourselves some of the course beyond stressful. Our school was there to help us. They said, we'll help you with a personal statement. They gave us one assembly on it and expect us to write by ourselves, even though we just had one assembly with minimal information.
I used to leave my house every single day, going to youth centre or music studio or doing shows or whatever. I've just had to adapt because I have a lot of equipment in my house already, so I'm able to work on most of my music stuff. I have computer, I have phone, I have internet, so I can contact anyone that I need to contact.
At first, during the lockdown, I didn't even go out at all. So it's not as if I had to social distance because I was at home anyway. And then when I came out, it was the world was a completely different place. Everyone was wearing masks and it was just all weird. You wouldn't want to go near people. Personally, I found the time that lockdown has brought quite helpful because it's given me time to catch up on work and work on things that if there was no lockdown, I wouldn't have had time to do.
Both my parents work NHS. So because of that, it was actually a bit tougher because I was in the beginning stages, I was actually quite isolated. This was actually one of the toughest parts, the fact that I couldn't play basketball, because it's almost like our medium of expressing ourselves is by playing sports with each other. The key bonding times we have is when we're all playing basketball together. So to have that kind of medium of expressing ourselves to each other taken away in such a way, seeing all the parks, local courts and everything, it was really tough.
My mental health has been fluctuating. I was really, really sad at the start because obviously no friends, no school, no interactions. And being Asian as well, I was terrified to go out because I'd see on social media that Asians were just being targeted. In America, people being beaten up for being Asian. And I was just really nervous. And then now I'm slowly coming out of my shell and I'm ready to vocalize how I feel.
I think the biggest thing for me was establishing routines which I relied on. So, for example, fitness, keeping fit, keeping healthy, which I struggled with in probably the first month. I saw myself stumble in the areas I wanted to develop. So whether it be fitness, whether it be recognizing that working from home, I seem to do more hours than not working from home just because of that motivation. I need to be able to know how to do it for myself and not be reliant. It's been a learning process.
The social life went downhill, man. A lot of people that I'll talk to daily, which I wouldn't see them for a month. But then I would play a lot of PlayStation, so I don't know, maybe that was my version of social, just chilling with my friends, talking on PlayStation. But if it wasn't for that, I don't know what I would have done.
There were definitely times when I felt like I was going a bit insane just from being closed off in one room and not really having space and not really being able to do what you want to be doing.
I've been seeing stuff, I've been looking at stuff on Instagram and people doing their their at-home workouts and all of this. And to be fair, I wouldn't say I've been inspired by it to do more. I've just thought maybe I'm not as optimistic as I should be. I'm just trying to keep myself like as calm as possible, because if I try to do loads of other things and try to keep myself busy, I'm just going to get stressed.
I've been lucky enough to have a good home situation throughout this, so that wasn't an issue. I was lucky to have been privileged in many ways. So lockdown has been a really good time for focusing myself. Okay, you can't do this right now, so you are able to focus on this and this and this, and don't worry about maybe having to go out this evening.
I started losing a bit of routine, I would say. My sleeping pattern, really got destroyed because I was going to bed later, really late mornings watching programs, and then I would get up really late as well. And then this was something that I wasn't really having any control over. So I thought what would be a really good thing to help me would be the exercise, because I know the sort of physical benefits I have from doing exercise.
I've got arthritis, so that means my immune system is pretty crap. So I wasn't allowed to go shopping or anything. So essentially, I had to spend my days indoors. I was supposed to have my BBC trainee scheme as of September as well, but all of that's been cancelled and either postponed until September of 2021. So that means I've literally got a year of what I'm gonna do. It's just a year, but then again, it's a year wasted.
One thing that was like quite big for me during the lockdown or during the whole coronavirus pandemic was like a fear of the people around me getting sick. I had high death rates and everything, and that quite scared me, because I do actually know like some families who have lost loved ones, and I'm not really sure how they're coping.
I actually started regularly doing exercise over lockdown, which is a first for me for a long time.
Doing things like the round table was really good, because like it allowed us to express our feelings and actually bounce off each other and talk to other young people and actually see that like it was okay to feel that way during lockdown.
There's lots of more time on social media, and I think that kind of impacts mental health a little bit, because you're just sitting on your phone scrolling longer than you usually would. Social media, all media really like in this time is really heavy. Even like watching the news like every 5 seconds, like coronavirus. I'm just like,
I spent quite a long time with my little daughter. So I have a young daughter, and I spent quite a long time with her. I wasn't happy to see that my daughter had to miss out on so much school and her school life, because when I was her age, I never missed out on anything like this for so long.
I didn't have my prom. I didn't have all these memories, which I really felt like I was entitled to. So obviously it was my last year in school. I felt like I was almost entitled to having that full, even that proper goodbye to my mates and everything. Then with all these like group chats and stuff, I was able to interact with my friends still. And I definitely think that during the end of it, I kind of got used to it.
Things that need looking at in terms of the bigger picture, especially for young people, because where we're just starting our life and starting our career path and starting our journey, I think it does affect us in the long term.
I feel like these years for like young people, especially like finishing secondary school and all of that, I think they're really important. And to have like a whole pandemic, it's going to take an impact, like a toll on our mental health in the following years as well. Because we're going to be looking back and be like, remember we were stuck in our house for how many days?
One of the main things I would say is education. I would say employment is another thing the government need to look at, especially employment for young people.
They need to invest in the future of their citizens, which include young people. If they let people suffer economically and generally in life, it's not going to help the country. It's not going to help our future. It's not going to help in any way at all.
I hope the government prioritises people's healthcare more seriously and their health, instead of waiting until they have to focus on it. I also hope they can focus on people in people from working class backgrounds, because obviously this is proven, people from working class backgrounds are more, in some sort of way, more affected by what's gone on.
I think they need to figure out what to do with finances, because I think that's what's giving young people like myself the most stress and anxiety and the sort of sense of uncertainty what's going to happen.
This might be a bit difficult right now, might be hard times and whatnot, but I just really believe that I'm going to survive it. And because I had really, really good people around me, even just people making simple phone calls or people having the Zooms with me that I haven't spoken to in ages and just giving me guidance, and telling me how good my life is going to be and how much potential I've got. Just getting that sort of encouragement from other people, I mean, that was really, really helpful.